Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Kia, and this is Tip for Tap Tarot. Today I'm going to do a pick a card or pick a pile, and the question that we're exploring is, who are you at, like, deep down at a core level, like at a soul level, who you are deep inside. And I have a few pre-shuffled cards, and then I'm going to, they're oracle cards, and I'm going to whip out the tarot after. So pile 1 is this. It's a little cardinal, and it says, always in my thoughts. Pile 2 is this really pretty crystal. It's like a little, I think it's like, I don't know, a parrot or something. And pile 3 is this little crystal, and it has like an eagle on it. It's green. Alright, and I'm going to have the timestamps in the description box, and I'll see you at your pile. Hi, pile 1. So you chose this really cute little cardinal symbol here, and it says always in my thoughts. So, you know, right off the bat, just talking about what you chose, I'm wondering, you know, if you've possibly had like any kind of recent like loss of someone you love, or just maybe even lots of losses in your life, just because cardinals are usually seen as messengers from people that have passed on. You know, they bring messages from heaven and then they bring them back up. So that's a possibility. Or you just chose it because it's like really cute. Or maybe there's someone in your thoughts. But anyway, so now I'm going to show you the cards. I have one Mana, which is kind of going to describe, like, you know, you at a core level, like your main archetype, like that you deep down inside kind of embody. And then we're going to flip over the oracle cards and explore a little bit more. And then after I go through those, I'm going to pull a few tarot just to clarify some more. So first card that you have for your major arcana is you got the Emperor. So deep down in your core, you're a boss. You're very like, and remember, I'm talking about deep down in your core. This doesn't necessarily have to be how you present yourself, but, you know, deep down, you're like, this is, you know, the divine masculine. This is the archetype for like the father or the patriarch. So you are like very like strong, masculine, a provider, a protector, disciplined. It's all about stability and order. You might be a little bit of like a black and white thinker, more logical rather than intuitive. Obviously, there's a lot of passion here because you see a lot of red, and there's like chili peppers. You might be also maybe even more of like an observer, because you see how this emperor's throne is like inside, and then there's like this window to the outside world. So in a sense, maybe there's something about you at the core that's a little bit more pulled back from everybody. Maybe you actually sometimes feel like an outsider looking in, like on the outside of the world, looking at everyone else and everything that's happening. Kind of like this feeling of being like of the world, but not necessarily a part of it. Let's keep going. And now we have, wow, okay, so you might be, this is Aries, and now we have this card that says protection. It's onion, and it has the Aries symbol on it. So you very well might be in Aries, or have like a lot of planets, you know, in Aries in your chart, or a lot of like Mars in your chart. So like literally what I was just saying, deep down at your core, you're a protector. You protect the people that you love. You have layers too, you know, like onions. You know, there's a lot to you. Like, you might not, because if you're like, if you embody the Emperor energy, you might be somebody who like I was saying, how you're much more like logical and maybe a black and white thinker, or maybe you just come off to others as very stoic. That's weird. My front door just randomly opened. Anyway. So yeah, that like distracted me for a second, but I was gonna say that you might come off as very stoic to people, potentially, but there's a lot more than meets the eye. You have a lot of layers deep inside. Even if you appear kind of much more like maybe stoic, very logical, just such a disciplined person. Maybe some people like misinterpret you as being someone who doesn't seem to like, maybe you just don't like wear your heart on your sleeve. You don't necessarily show all your feelings. This also has the number 9 on it. 9s are about like mastery and completion. So you're definitely like a boss. All right, let's keep going. So now we have this card that says freedom. I wonder if like you have like how I was saying, kind of like feeling like maybe an outsider looking in. Wonder if there's like some deep yearning to be a little bit more freeing, you know, because the Emperor is very like disciplined and structured and, as I was saying, stoic potentially. So perhaps that's just how you like kind of show yourself to the outside world, but like deep inside there is this other aspect to you that is very freeing, or wanting to, I don't want to say like break the rules, but kind of come out of your box, if that makes any sense. Also, because you chose the little cardinal symbol, and I was saying in the beginning about maybe you've lost people, maybe you've lost someone or several people in your life, and I was just thinking because these are birds, and that has kind of added to your, maybe it's what makes you very protective of people and the things that you have because of having lost in the past. But let's keep going. So now you've got this one, number 17, and it says, oh my god, I'm probably going to totally butcher this plan, but go to cola. I'm not a like plant master, but it does say higher consciousness. And we have Mercury and the moon. I feel like you're just a really like introspective kind of person. Sorry if you can't see that very well. But he's meditating, and I feel like you're a very like introspective person. Again, something about this like being separated from the world. Maybe you observe a lot more than you interact. You might be a very quiet person. Although it's Mercury, which is like the planet of communication. So you might be someone who's like very few words potentially, but when you speak, it's important and impactful. You don't just like talk to talk. Oh my god, I'm totally gonna mess this one up. Schisandra, that plant, I think is how I'd say it. And it says grace. Number 29. This is Jupiter and Venus energy. It reminds me of the Temperance card because of the way she is pouring the water, and also with the the swans, and then this one, again, I'm being brought back to potentially there must have been like a loss in your life that has been really impactful to you. Maybe even someone like a partner, like a spouse. So yes, I do feel like you might have lost someone in your life that has made a very big impact on who you are now and how you develop. Maybe it was a parent. You're coming through as a very stable person, very introspective, very moderate, very stable. You don't, there's passion inside of you and a fire, but you don't make decisions impulsively. That's not who you are deep down at your core. Perhaps sometimes maybe you wish you could be like that. But deep in your core, you're definitely you're coming through as much more like logical. I do see that there is, not to say, not to say that you don't use any intuition. I do see that you use intuition. You might do a lot of meditating. Maybe you're, just like you said, a very introspective, very like reserved kind of person that thinks a lot. You don't just make impulsive decisions. You really think about it. I think stability is very important to you, but I think success is also really important to you. Yeah, let's keep going. And then we have heart healing, and this is hawthorn, tree hawthorn, heart healing. Yeah, I do think that there's been some kind of loss in your life at some point, and it has weighed very heavily on your heart and has kind of shaped you to be the person that you are. Has possibly I'm trying to think of how to word it. I think that potentially some kind of loss in your life of someone that you really deeply love or cared about, maybe even multiple losses, or maybe it's like a repetitive thing that seems to happen to you, has shaped you into who you are. But deep down in your core, you're you're like a provider and a protector. It's like the father energy. You want to take care of people and protect them. And I see that even though you're embodying this emperor energy, you still have a good balance of like other feminine energy where you're not deep down overtly like, mind you, I'm also talking about deep down at a soul level, because maybe like the way you've been acting potentially recently is like a little bit contradictory to what I'm saying, but deep down at your core, there's a good balance of also feminine energy here, because you're not coming through like a dictator or a mean person. You're that masculine father type energy is for love. It's because you desire to provide and protect the people in your life. Maybe it's almost like that, if you can build up stability, that actually can help create some freedom when you feel secure, and like the people in your life feel like stable and secure because of how you provide for them. For example, let's say you have a spouse or a partner. You're a very loyal and dedicated, responsible person, and that allows them to feel more free. I think you actually probably thrive when you have that same kind of energy return to you. When you're feeling like things are in control and there's not like tons of chaos and things are peaceful, it allows you to feel more free. You might actually, if you're in situations that are incredibly chaotic and like a lack of discipline and order, that's probably when your shadow side would come out and you would start to become more like domineering. When things are in order, you can thrive and feel free. And I think that there's also a really like deep fire inside of you that wants to like a deep drive to succeed and conquer and build an empire. And in order to do that, you need more healing in your heart. Like if you're sitting here being like, I don't know, I felt like I haven't had a drive lately, that's because there's a sense of like a brokenheartedness here. I feel like for some reason, like there's some level of guilt too. I don't know why, if it's like survivor's guilt or something. I don't know if it's the situation. I'm just feeling like there's some sense like, I don't, like if there was an accident or something and someone else got hurt or passed away, but you survived. So I'm feeling that why am I here? Why was I protected? Or guilt because you couldn't protect someone because you are a protector. I do feel that. So let's ask the tarot now more about who you are deep at your core. I also, every time I keep like being drawn to this card, and it really reminds me of the Eight of Wands. So I believe that you're a very driven person, and that when you can get when something really fires you up and you go for it, you're a very powerful force. Okay, so tarot, the first card that comes out is Strength. You're very strong. You're a very strong person. Who is pile 1 at their core? Wow, the Magician. You are a very, deep down in your core, you are an incredibly strong and powerful person. You are like this emperor. You are a conqueror. Not in a bad way, not in a cruel dictator, tyrant kind of way, but in a way that like you make things happen. You can build an empire. And you have compassion though, and I feel that your drive to build an empire is actually for other people. Like you might have desires to improve the lives of others. Like if you were to be a leader of any kind of sort, like if you were to be a teacher or you were to go into politics or be someone's mentor, it's because you want to protect other people and you want to make things better for other people. You have a lot of compassion and you're a very powerful person. You can make things happen. Your thoughts really do create your reality. I feel like, because the Magician, I believe that's Mercury power, and then here you have Mercury. I know you can't see it because of my camera, but it's at the top there, and it's Mercury and the Moon. So this tells me like it's like he's it's his higher consciousness, but he is meditating here. So I feel like if you were to tap into more of your intuition, and meditate, you could really manifest a lot of what it is that you want. You definitely have the drive and the power and the strength and all the tools necessary in order to make this, whatever it is that you want, a reality. You are magic. Could also be a very sexual person. Because Aries, is ruled by Mars, and that is like the god of war, but also like sexuality and passion. And I'm drawn to like Strength card can be a lot about lust, and both of these have a lot of red on them. So, and this has a lot of red in the chili. So, even if you show yourself as like, if you appear to other people as very like stoic and logical, I think that you have a very like sexy, passionate side to you. Probably get in bed. Alright, a couple more. Who is pile 1? My pile 1 people deep at their core. And now you have the 2 of Pentacles. So this just shows, like I've been saying, that you are somebody who is you're disciplined, you're very good at handling life's challenges and multitasking and time management, you're very responsible, you're good at juggling things. I can't think of the word, but it's like prioritizing. Yeah, I'm good at prioritizing. Good at starting new projects. You're probably somebody you're just someone people can depend on. Like they can come to you and they need help with something, you're there. You can help them. And you're dependable. If you say that you're going to do it or you're going to be there, then they can trust that. Now we have the 9 of Cups. I think you're also emotionally mature. You have a mastery over your emotions, which, like I said here, I'm seeing what reminds me of temperance. So you're a very like moderate person. You're just not, I don't think now we all have, a shadow side, or I suppose on the net, I could see the Emperor in your shadow self. You could be someone who, like I was saying before, if things are like chaotic, you could resort to trying to control things or being domineering and whatnot, but you're not you're not like the Emperor versus the Empress, right? The Emperor is much more like logical and rational, where the Empress is much more like nurturing and intuitive. But here with the 9 of Cups, this is saying that you are emotionally mature. You've mastered your emotions. Probably why some people, I also get the feeling that you do come across as somebody who might come through as like stoic. You have layers to you, but someone, you have to actually be really connected with someone, and they have to like dig down and get to that, but to this core of you, that's probably a little more passionate and freeing and emotional. I just think that you might come across to at times as just very, not like people think you're emotionless, but it's just the difference between some people wear their heart on the sleeve and they cry very easily, and they're always, it's just very, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where they express their emotions very freely. I think that you have a very good handle on them. You might even be someone that, even if deep inside you're super sad or angry, people might not even know. I think this shows, though, that you have a lot of emotional depth. You love a lot. Get a couple more and then we'll wrap it up. Oh, and then we have the 10 of Pentacles. So you're a very stable person. You're somebody who really wants to create a family. This isn't just stability for yourself. This is wanting to create wealth and stability for other people. Deep down at your core, you want to provide for other people. You want to create a home and a future and a family that gives stability and abundance to everybody. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm surprised that a Queen or King of Pentacles hasn't come out. I'm going to get one more. But yeah, like I was saying before, that's who you are deep down at your core. You want to create a wonderful future for other people. You very much think about other people. This isn't just about yourself. You are probably somebody, maybe you are a father or you want to be a father, or even if you're a woman, you're still kind of, deep down in your core, you're still that archetype of the father. And you want to, you are somebody who is like, I want to work hard and protect and provide, not just for my children, but like for my grandchildren. I want to be able to leave something. I want to have a legacy. That's who you are. And think of an emperor. He's not just there to be a ruler, he's there to take care of his kingdom, and that's who you are deep down at your core. And the last one I'm going to get here is the Knight of Cups. This is fertility tonic, and number 12. So I think that's just kind of confirming what I was just saying, is that you are, and at the bottom of the deck I have the Hierophant. So you're very much a very divine masculine kind of energy at your core. You probably want to have children, or you just want to grow things for people, even if you didn't have actual biological children. Being the Knight of Cups means that there is deep down in your core, even though you're this archetype of the Emperor and the father, you also have, like as I was saying before, a very passionate and very flirty side and emotional side to you that it just takes some digging to get to. When you trust somebody, you'll show that side to people. You'll show like your more your free side here. There is a freeness to you deep inside. You're not just boring and stoic completely. And I just want to say, that maybe it's just saying here, heart healing, and that's what you need, is to work a little bit more on your heart, rather than so much, you have a great work ethic and you're responsible and disciplined, but work a little bit more on your heart, Your Nine of Cups energy here, and, the Strength card. You have a very strong heart and compassionate side, even if other people don't always, see it right on the surface. And I also want to say that if this applies to anybody out there, that you have some kind of, survivalist guilt, that you should not feel guilty, that's not your fault. Surviving while someone might have passed away is not your fault. I know that deep down inside you want to be a protector, and you might have a feeling of, there's some kind of feeling of failure that you didn't protect somebody, but it's not your fault, and you shouldn't feel that way anymore. You should heal your heart, because you are deep down inside, you are a protector and a provider. Nobody's perfect, and that's the reason you're here. If someone else passed and you didn't, and you have that guilt, the reason, I'm not saying that the person who might have passed is a bad person. They are in a better place. This is their message to you, actually. That's why you chose that. Always in my thoughts, this is, cardinals bring messages, so that if, you lost somebody, that's probably what they'd want to say to you, is that you live on without me because you're a protector and a provider, and you're going to create a beautiful future for other people. Oh, well, anyway. Yeah, that's what I have for you, so let me know in the comments if that resonated. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. So you chose this cute little crystal parrot. Isn't it cute? So right off the bat, I'm wondering if you are maybe a very social, talkative person, only because parrots are known to be talkers. So I'm already kind of feeling that you might be like a social person, that you like to talk a lot. Might use your words. Your throat chakra is very strong, but we'll see. So I have a major arcana, which is going to show you the archetype of the core of your personality, who you are deep down, and then I'm going to show you the oracle cards, and then I'm going to do a few tarot cards to clarify more. So for your for your main archetype, for your major arcana, you got the World card, this is Saturn energy. So, and it's funny because parrots live a very long time. Like, they can actually outlive their owners in a lot of cases. And Saturn is, so you might be an older person, or at least an old soul, very wise. Saturn is kind of like the father planet. He teaches a lot of lessons. So you might be a teacher. You might teach people things. You might also be, not that the age matters, but you could also be coming into your Saturn return, which happens around the age of like 30, then again I think 55, and then maybe sometime around 85. So you could potentially be close to one of those ages, or something very important happened around that really shaped your personality. This is a very karmic kind of energy, I feel like. Maybe you're somebody who, I don't know, somehow, like, whether it's purposely or just inadvertently teaches people lessons. They might face karma, I guess, by meeting you. You might actually meet people, and for the reason is to teach them something somehow. I feel like you've gone through a lot, because the World card is the very end of the tarot journey. So I feel that you're a very wise person, and that you have gone through a lot. You might also be kind of a healer. You might heal people. You might not even realize that you're doing it or how you're doing it. Just because, I think they look like dandelions. And I also was just thinking, because those are dandelions and those are considered weeds, that you might be someone who's just constantly, might do a lot of like inner work. I just feel that you're really wise and that you've gone through and pulled a lot of weeds out. But at the same time, I'm thinking too that you're somebody who probably sees the beauty in, like, how people, it's like, oh, dandelions are weeds, but they're really beautiful and they're really necessary. And so I feel that you might see the beauty in what other people might call a weed. But let's keep going. So you got number 24, it's strawberry, and it says agreement, has a Libra sign on it. So I am going to say that I do feel that, well, and it's got feathers on it, so that automatically makes me think, I don't even know, what do they call it? Like a feather pen? I don't know. So, again, you might be a talker or a writer. You are a good communicator. I think that you are a good communicator. You have very wise things to say. And you really are, you've learned to be balanced, you've learned to be fair. 24 added together as a 6. 6 is about balance and harmony and even partnerships. So I do feel like you have learned that throughout your life. Deep down at your core being, you are someone who probably strives for balance and fairness. Now I was just saying how, yeah, okay, so Libra reminds me, that's like the major arcana that goes with that is like justice. So how I was saying that dandelions are weeds, but they're also beautiful, and how you may be someone deep down who can see the beauty even when other people are saying they're weeds, reminds me of, like, they say justice is blind, because justice isn't going to be swayed by just what other people say, or it's about equity. It's not, you're not going to just look at, oh, the dandelions are weeds, so they gotta go, or they're just beautiful, so they gotta stay. It's like a fair decision. You're not making decisions based off just what you're seeing, or biases, or what society is saying. It's a very much more rational and trying to like balance between like the heart and the mind and being fair. So I feel like deep down that's the kind of person you are. You don't just make quick, harsh judgments on people. And of the one set of oracle cards, you actually got two. Oh, look at that! You got delight and another bird. So I feel like you're a happy person. Ooh. And then you have protection. I think you're a truth seeker. I think you're somebody deep down who very much finds joy in like the journey of life and learning things. And I think that you're also, there's something about you, like the way that this shows, it's this like hole, and then you can see out of it the dandelions and this tree saying protection. There's something about you as well that's very much, maybe you offer people an escape from things. You might be someone who people feel like no matter who they are or what's going on, they can come to and they can feel protected and safe, and also that you will always give the truth. You'll try to be unbiased and give the truth to people. You're not, and I say that because of the lightning, and the lightning always reminds me of, truth, epiphanies. And I believe, I can't remember off the top of my head what kind of tree this is, but I feel like it's man, I wish I could, I might actually open up the book. Something about this tree here. It might be like I'm going to grab my book because I feel that's important for some reason. I didn't open up my book with pile one, but alright, it's a guardian oak. Wisdom, strength, and protection. One of the many remarkable things about the oak is that from the smallest acorn, a powerful tree of enormous size can spring forth and live for hundreds of years. Like I said that. Like you're an old soul. The roots of the oak go as deep into the earth as its branches reach into the sky. It's honored for its expanse, its nobility, and its endurance. Yeah, you've been through a lot, and you keep going, and I feel that you've held on to it. You're not like a jaded person despite anything you've gone through. Additionally, its tendency to attract lightning confirmed in the minds of many ancients that the oak represented life force, vitality, and strength. Many cultures revered the oak and honored the living spirit within it. They believed that there was a mystic doorway in the oak tree through which one could travel to inner worlds. Oak is one of the most compelling symbols for protection. Yeah, and this is like a doorway. So you're a very wise person. You might even be, I want to say psychic, but not in the sense of seeing visions. You might have like clairsentience, like you just have a knowing of things. So yeah, you're protected. You can weather anything. Your roots go deep. You're brave. You can survive anything. You're a leader. You have a great authority in life. Wow. Yeah, okay. So you're an old soul for sure. Whew. Wow, okay. You just got, this is another, it says protection on it as well. Number 4, Rue. And it has a lion on it, which reminds me of, they got Sun and Pluto energy here. I feel like you are protected. I feel like that you are a stable person, but you're very divine. You really are somebody deep down in your core. If you feel like you've gone through a lot, that's because you are just somebody who has an immense inner strength, and you're meant to go through these like trials and tribulations. And it doesn't even matter. You could be 17 years old watching this. You could be very young, you could be very old. It doesn't matter. You have an old soul, and the things that you've gone through have made you into a wise person. Your protection on here twice. So if you had any fear that you're not protected, you absolutely are. I feel that you also have a very big heart. You're very compassionate. And even though you're a very fair and balanced person, there's this lion inside of you, you know, which is amazing because that's what the strength card is about, really. It's like even though there's a lion inside of you, you're still can be submissive and be compassionate. And we have Poppy, number 41. It says dream on it. This is Neptune and Saturn energy. So more Saturn, but also again, I feel like you might have psychic dreams. You might have a lot of dreams that come true. You might even be someone who's kind of misunderstood, because a lot of your wisdom it's almost deep down in your core. It's like you're very, very wise and knowing, and maybe it doesn't even have a clear explanation. I feel that you are meant to be a teacher. In one way or another. I don't even think you have to strive to do it. I feel like just people knowing you and meeting you can be enough to bring, you might not even know that you've done this. You know, you could meet someone one time and have a very huge impact on them. And I feel that Saturn might be very prevalent in your chart. And basically, it's almost like any of the trials and tribulations you've been through has also opened up your third eye and made you more intuitive. You're coming through to me as a very also intuitive person. Even though you are rational as well, I feel that you balance both of those out. Ooh. And then you get Wormwood, mystery. I do feel like this is my like psychic group here. That's like awesome. I just feel that because of this card, like I was talking about, you know, not making harsh judgments, not being swayed by just pure emotion or by like what society says or what things look like, and really being fair and taking it all into account. I do feel like you incorporate your intuition into that, though. I think you know things about people that, like right off the bat, like I was saying, some kind of clairsentience, like an inner knowing about people. You definitely are an old soul who is probably psychic, for sure. Very intuitive, and you should look up wormwood, that like the symbolism behind that plant. I'm gonna pull some tarot. I'm almost speechless, to be honest. Yeah, I just feel that you're deep down at your core. You're somehow it's like, I wonder if you're a Capricorn, because that's the ruling planet for, or Saturn's ruling planet for Capricorn, and Capricorns are often like described as being kind of like the deliverers of karma. So, and I don't think it's like something you don't have to purposely do. You know, it's just if someone wrongs you or something, they're gonna get karma. If someone does something good for you, it's gonna be good karma coming for them, you know? You might have dreams. I can even see that you might even dream of people that like you and then you end up meeting them or something. Or yeah. Or you just know that things are gonna happen. And I think you actually take a lot of like delight in this and happiness in this. It's almost like there's some kind of portal inside of you to, like, I don't know, like astral projection while you're dreaming or something that you know, like coming through like shaman energy. You know, I want, now look at me, I'm like whipping out my book for like your whole reading here. Because I just want to see. I don't normally do this, but I'm really curious. I just feel drawn to. Maybe you're like someone who likes to read a lot, and you want that. So I'm looking up this one for Poppy. It says, "Mystery of Dreamtime, the great unknown, regenerating in darkness, breaking addictive habits, releasing unhealthy relationships, aligning to new intentions." And then for the reverse or negative side of it, lost in the labyrinth, confusion as to what is real, materialism, addiction, unintentionality, obsession, temptation, Neptune and Saturn. I mean, we know that makes opiates. So I wonder, you could have been, maybe you're a recovering addict, or you help addicts, or you know addicts. Poppy's piercing dual nature and history are closely representative of that the Devil card in tarot, so Capricorn. The Devil represents the darkness of material obsession, addiction, the pursuit of false ideals for the sake of vanity and personal gain. The constructs of this reality, Saturn, have enabled a contorted darkness that does not belong to the soul signature of the divine flower, Neptune. Look deeper through the lens of her beauty to find that she embodies the mystical magic of the dreamtime, the place of unbound potential where we regenerate daily and commune with the divine. Excess and abuse of mystical powers like those of Poppy means that you'll likely end up lost in her dark labyrinth. Break the temptation and addiction to thought patterns and experiences that lead to escapism and empty intentions, and align to the light found within the mystical darkness found in the dream time. So I'm wondering if this world card, the archetype, is maybe you were at one point, you had struggled with toxic patterns or addictions, or you are now. So this is like confirmation that you have all the power inside of you to break those chains. And if maybe, like I said, maybe you could also be someone who helps people, or you'd be good at helping people like that. And that could be why your archetype is the world, because it's like you've been through the ringer, especially if you're someone who is like a recovering addict of some sort. That's given you a lot of wisdom. You know, I know people who are addicts and, you know, they're clean now, and a lot of them do have a lot of wisdom to offer because they've been at rock bottom and they know what that's like. But as I said, I feel that you have not, you know, with this delight card here, you are not jaded. You're very, I feel like, Or, maybe you might partake in certain substances that do kind of give you that enlightened, that high, sometimes people have visions after they do drugs or whatever, So you might have even had experiences with that. But you are protected. And so if you're struggling with that now, I will say that deep down at your core, there's a reason that you're strong enough to overcome it, and that it will be actually served for a reason that it happened. Because you can help other people. That's probably why you wouldn't, if any of this is resonating, this might not even be for everyone, it might be just some, but if that resonates at all, then that's probably why you would be, did I say something about escaping or something? Maybe you kind of have a personality deep down that has a need to kind of escape from the world and reality, and so you have to find a constructive way to do that and not let it be toxic or devil energy. But yeah, I feel like if any of this is resonating, that's probably why you'd be someone who would be great to talk to for people who are struggling, because you're not going to just judge them and be like, oh, you're a drug addict, you get it. So let's get a few tarot just before I wrap it up here. So Spirit, pile 2, who are they at their core? The 7 of Wands. So you are a fighter. You definitely stand for what you believe in, and you, I could see that if you have recovered from any kind of toxic patterns or addictions, that becomes an ongoing fight. You are victorious, and then you have to kind of keep fighting to maintain that. This shows too that you have like a kind of like a leg up from other people. And then we have the 4 of Swords, that's healing, and the 10 of Wands. That's just, I just feel like that's reiterating the fact that you have gone through a lot, that you have carried, you're such a strong person, that you have carried so much weight on your shoulders, like the weight of the world on your shoulders at some point or another, maybe even now, and that you are, you've really mastered that. And I think, again, that this 4 of Swords, and it's right in the middle of the 7 of Wands and the 10 of Wands, this is a card about meditation and praying and healing and resting. So dreaming that there's some kind of inner psychic inside of you deep down, that is ultimately what kind of drives you to keep going and to fight and to heal and strive towards any kind of new beginning. Especially if I'm talking to you in the middle of, what you're going through. You're a strong person. Not many people can do it. Like what you're dealing with or what you have dealt with. Not many people are they're just not all made like that, but you are. Get a couple more cards. The Hanged Man. So I definitely feel that, again, this is the card that comes after Justice, and this to me I think of this as like an ego death. It's a change in perspective. So you've gone through things that have changed your perspective. You have a different perspective than other people, because some people just haven't gone through what you have gone through. They haven't learned all these lessons. They just don't think like that. But you have a very amazing way of thinking and a very great different perspective that is very helpful to the world. And Also, I just feel like whatever struggles you've gone through has resulted in like an ego death. Humble. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting some kind of like humble. And, you know, like this card with the lion here reminds me of the strength card. And that's what I always think of when I see the strength card, is there's like a sense of being humble. It's a strong lion, but it's able to be subdued by this woman. So there's a humbleness to it and a compassionate side to it. Whatever it is that you've gone through has like enlightened you. We'll get a couple more tarot. So pile 2, who are you at your core? The 5 of Cups. And this one's interesting because 3 of the cups are covered up and the 2 that aren't covered up are morphine, which I believe that's the poppy. I'm pretty sure that's what the book was saying. I didn't read it all out loud, but it was talking about making morphine, and then cyanide. So again, whether this is a past thing or a present thing, I'm again being brought back to some kind of toxic addiction here. Maybe substances, specifically like drugs or alcohol here, and it's due to some kind of chaotic emotional state that you are or were in. This is change, though. It's conflict in your heart. You know, you've gone through that. Maybe at one point you were sad. Maybe you struggle with mental illness like depression. But and if this is a present thing, like this isn't a past thing that you've gotten over and you're in the journey right now of getting over it, then this spirit's telling you and confirming for you that you're absolutely strong enough, and that when you get through this, one step at a time, that you're going to have so much wisdom and just like kind of divine knowledge that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. There's a reason for it. And one more. Who are you at your core here? And the 8 of Wands. So I just feel like this is talking about this. To me, all 8s are strength. So it's like strength and fire here, strength in creation, and that when you get either, whether it's now or it's coming, deep in your personality, deep down at your core of your person, again, I'm just going to repeat myself, you're a very strong person who can persevere and be victorious. And once you get past, once you're past the 7 of Wands, once you're past that part of like needing to, like overcoming the doubt of if you can do it or if you should be at this high place, once you firmly stand your ground and be strong, you will like spring forward to success, and you'll start getting things done, and you're very filled with energy. You're a very energetic person, and deep down at your core, this to me actually could even be like visions or messages coming through to you. It could also be talking, communicating, like I was saying with your little parrot here. I believe this is like Sagittarius energy. So, and the Hanged Man is also, like, it's Pisces. That's definitely a very watery, psychic. I think Neptune is there, what you have here, so I feel that you're a teacher in some way. You don't even have to purposely do it. I just think that the things that you communicate to other people and say when you are social with them make a huge impact on people. And you might give people a different perspective, and you might not even realize how you do it. And ultimately, I just feel that maybe you're supposed to share your experiences with people, you know? If you've been through a lot of trials and tribulations and challenges and had trauma in your life, maybe you're being called to share that with other people because there's a reason that you went through it. It was to make you stronger, and it was to open up your third eye. Yeah, so that's like where I'm gonna leave it. You're a really awesome person, and good luck. Let me know in the comments if that resonated. Hi, Pile 3. So you chose this pretty little green stone with an eagle on it. So I feel like you might be a very free spirit. That's what eagles remind me of. Freedom. And the green makes me think of, I think the heart chakra. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's green. So I feel like that's what I'm just getting. Very loving person, very free-spirited. You might be a bit of a fighter. Maybe you fight for freedom, you know? Yeah, well, we'll see. Anyway, let's keep going. So I have a little stack of cards. I have one major arcana, which is going to be the main archetype of your core of your personality, and then I have some oracle cards, and I'm going to pull tarot to get a little more confirmation. So, you have for your major arcana the Star card. So that is this is Aquarius energy. It is, I feel like you're a very hopeful person because that's what the star is about. It's about hope, especially hope after disaster, because it comes after the Tower in the Fool's Journey. I feel that you're very sweet because you have honey on here, and honey is very sweet. I think that you work well with other people. Bees make me think of that. Feel that you're a very needed person, probably very valued by the people, or at least, you know, even if you're not actually valued, you definitely should be, because I feel that you're irreplaceable. It makes me just think of bees, how bees are needed for like the whole world's survival, and they work really well together. You could be, if you're thinking like queen bee, it doesn't really matter if you're a man or a woman, but you know, you're like, it's like queen energy here. I also am wondering, because there's one swan here, and swans usually mate for life, so I'm wondering if you're very much wanting like to find a soulmate in your life. You might be potentially like kind of like a hopeless romantic. I think you're also very intelligent, and I was saying like a free spirit and fighting for freedom. I'm wondering, because Aquarius is very much like a sign of like, it's about humanity and also evolving and like technology and advancement. So I'm wondering if you're someone who's very much like future minded and you want to see like changes in the world. Like you might be very concerned with like the state of the earth right now, like climate and animals, because the bees made me think of like, you know, if they were to go extinct, which some of them are. So that's like, those are the things that are flying through my mind. So I do wonder if you're someone who, you might be an animal lover. Maybe you really like fight for animals or something like that. But anyway, we'll keep going. So now we have this one, which is number 19. It's got a Virgo on it. It says strength. and it's the plant fennel. So I definitely feel like because of the sword here that you're someone who is I think you're very intelligent. You're very concerned with the truth of things and speaking the truth, knowing the truth. I believe so far I'm seeing like a very good balance of both earth and air energy, which I'm wondering too if sometimes those are at odds with each other. I wonder if there's a sense of like, maybe you've got a sense of like, I'm a free spirit, but then there's like this other part of you that wants to be more, not to say a free spirit isn't stable, but just more, yeah, like down to earth. I feel like you're both. You might be both. We'll see. We'll keep going. Ooh, look at that. Power. The lightning. And down in the town, you can see like the little houses have electricity. Ooh, strength and power. So you're a very strong person. All the piles kind of had that in common today. Like strength and power and protection is kind of the theme, I guess. A truth seeker. Kind of makes me think that at the core of your personality, because you're very hopeful, with the star card, and it comes after the tower, and this kind of reminds me of the tower with the lightning striking here. I'm wondering if you're, maybe at the core, you're just like, because the Aquarius, I was saying, is all about like advancement and like growth and stuff. It's like, you're not even scared of the tower energy, because if it was not good, if it was a crappy foundation, you're like, it's gotta go. Bring it down, and I have hope for the future. Yeah, I feel there's a sense, I'm getting a sense of like fearlessness, That's what like the eagle was making me think, like fighter and fearlessness and free and not being scared of change. Hopeful. Let's keep going. Now you got number 54, Ashwagandha, and it says purpose, and this is, I don't know, is that, it might be like North Node or something, it might be North Node and the moon, I don't know, the symbols at the top. Well, we have the sun and the moon in this little jar, so again, I feel like I'm being brought back to, there's a certain kind of like, people might call it a contradiction, but like this contradictory energy of like light and dark and air, free thought, and then also like realistic, like there's the dreamy energy, but then there's like the realistic, like stable earth energy here. I feel like you are actually, that's pretty special, because normally earth and air don't work very well together, but it seems that you have a very wonderful way of encompassing them together. Ashwagandha is also something that's very good for anxiety and depression. A lot of people take it for like energy and to like help reduce stress. Also, I believe that it's good for like blood sugar levels, like, helpful for like diabetics. I feel that you have, well, again, like the star's hope, but it also reminds me of like destiny. And then this card says purpose. So I feel like deep inside you have this, your core, you've always known that you had a purpose. And if you didn't, then let me tell you that you do. That no matter what you've been going through, you have a very divine purpose and destiny. Kind of like the way lightning strikes and it's powerful. That's what That's you, you know, that's your personality. You're meant to be, probably, okay, I was also going to, you might be, maybe you're meant to be famous, maybe. Even if it's like small scale, you're meant to make a difference in people's lives. You're meant to like impact humanity, but also, because of like the ashwagandha and then the honey, you could be like a healer in some way. I'm wondering what, like, I don't know anything about fennel. Let me get my book. Number 19. I did this with group 2. I didn't do it with group 1. Oh. It says, you'll find a greater strength and positive grounding energy coming forth, and even an invitation to undertake a new life path. Friendships are highlighted by fennel, and you may find you're spending additional time with those you align closely with. Situations in which sharing is high on the agenda will occur, and you're being prompted to share or teach what you know. Be careful not to work too hard or become unnecessarily reclusive. So I think I was just saying that you're meant to share, like, impact humanity. So, or at least, even if it's on a small scale and it's just your friends and family, you're meant to be impactful, like a truth bringer, you know. And maybe you're a very soothing person. I feel like there's something about you that's very soothing and brings hope to other people. But then there's, again, it's like a contradictory, right? Because there's a sense to you that you're very soothing and calming and helping to reduce stress. But at the same time, there's like this deep power inside of you. It's like that's your power. It's very like lightning striking. Maybe you just say really impactful things. And we have, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but we have Mucuna, number 16. It says journey. That's Mucuna. That's how you spell it. This has Mercury and Uranus. Uranus is, I believe, the ruling planet of Aquarius. So again, you could actually be in Aquarius or have a lot of that in your chart. Maybe you're young and you were born right at the start or in the middle of the age of Aquarius, which you're in right now, I believe. Journey. Purpose. Yeah, and again, Mercury, that's a planet of like communication. So, and also technology. So I feel that you are, again, deep down in who you are meant to be somebody that makes a difference, brings hope and change, you know. Because the star, again, comes after the tower, so it's like things fall, things break down, things change, and I don't think you're afraid of that. You embrace change. You embrace life's journey and your destiny. You might even be someone who embraces like the unknown. You might be even, I feel like you're a very spiritual person because that's what the star card reminds me of. It reminds me of like the divine and spirit and fate and destiny, but also this card with the eyeball up there, you know, it makes me just think that you're a very spiritual person and that you do believe that there are that we are being watched over and that there's a greater purpose and reason for all of us being here. Even if you don't even have to be particularly religious or have a one set religion, but I do believe that there's a sense of we're all connected and we're all like the bees, you know, bees and humans and everything, they're needed. We're all connected. And I feel that you recognize that and you've always felt that way, that because even lightning, right? Like it's powerful, it can be destructive, but it's necessary. So there's this sense of who you are is that you recognize that the light and the dark is needed, you know? We need all of it and we're all connected and there's a reason we're all here. And the journey itself is really important and I think that you're, very, like I said, a free spirit, like an eagle. I think that deep down you really love the unknown. You love exploring and just going along for the ride, and I was just hearing Miley Cyrus's song, like, what is it called? The Climb, you know? It's about the climb. So it's not about the destination, it's about the whole journey. And yeah, it's awesome. And then you have Clover, flow. Like I said, you go with the flow. You're free spirit, you're not super rigid. This is very different than pile 1, I will say, a little bit much more different. That pile was kind of more of someone who is much more like disciplined, and this is someone, not to say you're not disciplined, but you're just, I feel like you might even like love chaos in a way. Like there's something really energizing about it for you. Like you don't shy away from the chaos and the destruction and the unknown and all that. You're like, I love it. I love learning about it. I love the unknown. I love not knowing what's going to come. But then, you know, you might have a side to you too that is like, tries to be a little more stable as well. But anywho, I'm going to get some tarot cards. Yours, it looks like your reading actually coming out to be a little shorter than the others, but it just seems so to the point here. I feel like a lot of happiness and lighthearted energy in this. Like I'm ready to like get up and run or something. I'm like very smiley in this. Like I feel like that's who you are. A very smiley, happy person, sweet like honey. Like chill. You might be a really chill, kind of down to earth person too. It's like being down to earth and chill, but at the same time like a free spirit and like lively, and like I feel that deep down who you are is like, if someone was just like, oh my god, hey, you want to go on a road trip like across the country right now, and if you can, you'd be like, yeah, let's do it. Like, you know, that's what I'm getting. You're just ready to like go on an adventure. And if you feel, because I keep feeling this like contradictory energy, I'm wondering too, like let's say you're not doing that and you're like, I don't know, I've been kind of living a boring 9-to-5 job, but I hate it and I wish I didn't have to, then I could see that, like, again, we're talking about deep down at the core of who you are is a free spirit. I don't think that you would do very well to be confined, you know. I just was drawn to like the sun and the moon in here. In this little jar, they look sad. They don't look like they're having a good time locked up. You're much more about let's go with the flow. I don't, whatever happens, happens. Okay. Go with the flow. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, that's just as the wheel turns, you know, you just go with it. Bad luck, good luck, whatever, you know. You absolutely, at the core of who you are, is you just go with it. Go with the flow. And you might also be a really lucky person. And you're probably lucky because you're such a positive person who's filled with hope. Because even if things are bad now, you're like, the wheel's going to turn, it's going to get better. Yep. This is also a card speaking of fate and destiny. So they're deep down inside, you know that you have a very important destiny. There's a reason you're here. There's a reason everyone's here. And we have Justice, another major arcana. I feel like you must be a really good talker too, because, or something, you talk really fast because this is kind of coming out. Again, because I just said the contradictions, the heart and the brain, I feel like reminds me a little bit of what I was talking about in pile 2, that you're just somebody, I think that you have a good balance of it. Like I was saying, you have light and dark in you. You use your heart and your mind together. Maybe they align really well, you know? There's a sense, this is also kind of makes me think, even though it's justice, it's about balance and equity and fairness, it also just makes me think of what the universe has in store, and it kind of is bringing back to the you having a purpose and knowing that you have a purpose, and that you kind of, I hope, like, I feel like you have a really deep faith in, like, that in the end things will work out, and that things will always be, they'll end up being fair one way or the other, that the universe knows what it's doing, or God, or whoever, you know, whatever it is that you believe, that there's a reason for everything, okay? There's a reason. That's what I'm getting here from Justice. Who are you at your core? And also that's truth. Three of Cups. Happy. Celebrate. You love friends. You love people. You're a humanitarian type of person. This says joy, bliss, and love. You're a very positive person. I feel like actually even this power card with the lightning, you know what I just got? Somebody who, a storm happens and he's like, let's just go run out in the rain. You're not scared. You're like, it's almost like, how exciting that there's lightning happening, and you're kind of person like, isn't the lightning beautiful? You know, I'm getting such a like appreciation. You might be, it's kind of like hippie-ish, like loving animals and the earth, and maybe you try to be like really like live kind of more naturally, I guess. Now we have the Six of Cups. That's also about you're like there's kind of like this inner child. You know, not like in a stupid, naive way, but just a childlike innocence that's, you have fun, you enjoy life. Again, this is for rekindling love, for past life regression, for uncovering secrets, for promoting harmony, for encouraging comfort. And one of these is covered up. So you're all about, yeah, love, giving love, receiving love, very open heart. As I was saying before, that I think the green here is like heart chakra. Your heart is very much open. You might very much love children as well. I think you just love people, and you just love everyone and everything, really. It's such sweet energy. You're such a nice person. I think people feel that around you. They might feel a little more free and loving themselves. You really, like, flow. You really let love flow. Yeah. Oh my God, I just realized something. Clovers make honey. You're sweet like honey. Honey is very healing. You're a healing person. Now we have the Four of Wands. That's happiness, celebration. You're all about the party. Not like in a bad way, like I'm just saying you're a party animal, but you're all about like having fun with people, and you're down for everything. You're the person who'll always show up to the celebration or fun. You make it a celebration, you know, when you show up. That's the kind of energy you have. Very, very happy. Very happy person. I'm going to get one more. Spirit, who, for my group 3, who are they deep down at their core? You're such a sweet person. Who are they at their core? And the Chariot. Yeah, like I said, you're ready to go. Like you're like I'm ready. I'm full speed ahead. Let's do it. I have hope. I have no doubt. I have faith that the universe is here for me. This is a lot of major arcana, by the way, that you have. This is also the sign of Cancer, which is the sign of, like, it rules over the house of the home, of your private life. So, and it's like the mother of the zodiac. It's just very loving and nurturing. Again, you're and this is funny too, because the Chariot is, again, there's something here about contradicting energy, because like the Chariot's being pulled by two, they're almost like a chariot's almost always about to crash, and it's up to you to hold on to it and pull the reins so that you don't crash. So you go forward, and so there you have intense willpower. You have a great control. You're able to control conflicting energies, like your heart and your mind together to drive you forward. You're just ready to go, full steam ahead. This is such a good omen for success. It reminds, again, it's like a chariot going on a journey. You are all about exploring. You might be a traveler. Maybe you really want to travel, or you like to, or you have in your past. You probably love meeting new people and meeting new things and trying new things. You're not one of those people that's like I just thought of, like, if you were traveling and someone presented you with a dish of food. Some people are kind of picky, right? And they'll be like, oh no, I'm not even gonna, you're like, I'll try anything, I'll try it. Why not? Like, you don't know if you like it or hate it until you try it once, right? So you are just down for whatever. I'm really happy this was the last pile, because I just feel really happy and energized from you. So yeah, I just think deep down at your core, you're a happy, hopeful person, and you have like this really great future, and I think you just know it. So, and you should continue to go out there and spread the love, because I think even like that, I think your love is powerful, make a difference. You are, I feel like you are like lightning striking, like you probably show up and really liven the mood. It's interesting because like ashwagandha is a very like, it's supposed to be for stress and lack of anxiety, but what is a better cure for anxiety and stress than happiness and love? It's great. So, well, yeah. All right. Well, it was really like wonderful encountering your energy. I'm like all pumped now, and let me know in the comments if that resonated. Bye.